When optional becomes the default. A meeting invite lands, you click maybe, and the calendar quietly stops meaning what it used to mean. Now everyone is watching notifications and waiting for the last-minute update. The cost isn't just confusion, it's the slow collapse of trust in schedules, plans, and each other. When everything becomes optional, obligations don't vanish, they get redistributed. The system still requires someone to carry the weight. Coordination, follow-through, remembering, rescheduling, covering gaps, but it stops naming who is responsible. Convenience tools make exit easy and entry frictionless, so commitment begins to look like an unnecessary extra, rather than the foundation of shared work and shared life. That shift is not about anyone's intention, it's about what the system permits, rewards, and ignores. Optionality is not a neutral feature, it is a design choice with incentives attached. The clearest incentive is retention. Systems that reduce friction get used more. A skip, snooze, cancel anytime, or join later button lowers the immediate cost of saying yes, because yes no longer binds. The feedback loop is simple. The more reversible the commitment feels, the more people click yes. The higher the activity numbers look, the more the system is praised as user-friendly, and the less costly it becomes to make everything reversible. But reversibility has a hidden bill. Who benefits? The person who wants maximum flexibility benefits in the moment. The organization that can claim high engagement benefits on paper. The product that removes discomfort benefits through more clicks. Who bears the cost? The coordinator who rebuilds the checklist after cancellations. The teammate who holds a task just in case. The friend who keeps a seat and adjusts their evening twice. The family member who plans meals around a tentative arrival time. The cost is paid in attention, monitoring, confirming, waiting, and bracing for change. An explicit constraint used to protect commitments. Time. A schedule-constrained choice. You could not be in two places at once, and saying yes closed other doors. Convenience culture loosens that constraint by making plans provisional and asynchronous. The trade-off is immediate freedom in exchange for long-term reliability. With less friction to change plans, people gain agency in the short run, but the group loses predictability, and predictability is what makes cooperation humane rather than exhausting. Optionality also changes the social meaning of yes. In a stable commitment culture, yes implied a promise that others could build on. In an optional culture, yes becomes a placeholder until a better option appears, until energy changes, until another notification wins the contest for attention. And because systems measure what is easy to measure, they count clicks and RSVPs, not the downstream labor of rearranging people's lives. That measurement gap becomes another incentive. The system gets credit for choice while externalizing the coordination tax onto relationships. Finally, optionality becomes contagious. When people learn that others may exit at any moment, they protect themselves by holding back too. They give partial yeses, vague commitments, lightweight promises. This is a rational adaptation to the environment, a defensive posture shaped by repeated disappointment. The outcome is a culture where obligations are present but deniable. Everyone is needed, yet no one is bound. This matters because dignity depends on being able to rely on one another without constant surveillance. When everything is optional, people start to treat each other like interchangeable resources, available if convenient, absent if not. Agency shrinks in a paradoxical way. Individuals have more micro-choices, but fewer meaningful choices that can be trusted to endure. A life made of reversible selections can feel spacious, yet it often produces a thin kind of belonging. Responsibility also changes shape. In a world of stable commitments, responsibility is legible. Someone said yes, so someone will show up, or communicate clearly, or absorb the consequence. In a world of constant optionality, responsibility becomes ambiguous. And ambiguity creates harm. The harm is not dramatic. It is cumulative. It is the way a team starts building redundant backups. It is the way friends stop planning in advance. It is the way caregivers carry invisible contingency plans. These are not personal failures. They are system responses to unreliable signals. Attention is the quiet battleground here. Optional systems train attention to stay uncommitted, scanning for better offers, hedging, maintaining exit routes. That posture can erode meaning, because meaning often grows where attention is sustained, where people accept constraints together and allow shared expectations to form. Care is a constraint, not a sentiment. Notice where the language of flexibility shows up as a substitute for clarity. Consider which obligations in your world are still real, but no longer named. Who is doing the rescheduling, the reminding, the covering, the emotional buffering? Name the trade-off that is being made when reversibility is treated as the highest good. What reliability is being purchased, and what reliability is being sold? Notice, too, what you have learned to doubt. Calendars, confirmations, promises, even your own yes. Consider how often a system invites you to keep options open, and what that invitation does to your capacity to be present. Name the costs that do not appear on dashboards. The coordination tax, the waiting, the fragmentation of trust. When everything is optional, commitment doesn't disappear. It becomes someone else's unpaid labor. Responsibility is distributed, not dissolved.